Hello everyone and welcome to my second commentary. This is Fragelno speaking, and I do apologize for being this late with my second commentary, but it is due to the fact that I have been quite busy during both Christmas and New Year's. I haven't really had the time to start it up. So, in our team we have myself playing as Lee Sin for I played him a few games, but I haven't really worked him out properly. Read a few guides, but I'm still rather new to him. As you probably know, I have been playing Udyr for a lot of time before that. Together with me and my team, I have Donik as Soraka, Wasname as Karthus, Leethax, who's a friend of mine, playing as Tryndamere. He haven't reached 30 yet, so he has a little bit to work out there, but he's quite good actually. And we have Lurv playing as Singed. Now, in this game, Singed had a couple of problems at the start. For some reason he could not use his fling. He tried using it on smart cast and tried removing the smart cast, going regular cast, and well, he tried rebinding those keys I don't know for how long before he managed to get it going. But that is what happens every now and then, but after a while he managed to work it out, so eventually it went fine and dandy. On the opponent's team we have Radun as Talon, Uberoi as Annie, Vivux as Gangplank going the jungle against me, Horror of Guld as Nunu support, and Tristana played by Dotsies. Now, as you can see, I will be starting with the wolves, and since I'll be doing that, I have Karthus guarding the river for me here, and we had Soraka and Tryndamere having a look at this part of the river. In the meantime, we had Singed keeping an eye out over here, where he had an eye for red and the Wraiths, so they didn't come up there and wait for me. We also had a clarity going on over here, clairvoyance I mean, excuse me. So we saw that they would actually start there as well, so we wouldn't have too much of an issue. Now, since I do not have that much damage as Lee Sin to begin with, I take quite a bit of damage to start when I'm taking this route. On top of it, I was stupid enough to take my Q. I have no idea why, but I guess I panicked and everything went wrong. They also did a clairvoyance on me here, so they know exactly where I am and where I'm going. Here I'm going very far down with my health, but due to my vampiric scepter I have no problems at all to actually survive it. It's just stupid of me to do that to begin with. We on the other hand do a clairvoyance on them, so we see their Gangplank taking the Wraiths and probably going down for the red afterwards. So he managed to clear more than I did, approximately as fast as I did as well, due to my little mess up at the start. And now you see, am I that pretty from him? He probably saw our clairvoyance of him. Now, top lane we have our Singed versus their Talon, which is quite a matchup. If Singed actually had his fling working properly, it wouldn't have been too much of a problem. Talon can be quite a hard matchup going against in the solo lane. Mid lane we have Kalphus, and oh god, I love his ultimate for some reason. He managed to kill people when they least expect it, which is lovely. Makes it a lot harder to try to sneak away when you're low on health. He's going against Annie, who can be a real pain in the ass with her burst, and have you seen my bear Tibbers? I hate that bear. And in the bot lane we have our Soraka and Tryndamere. Soraka supporting Tryndamere of course, and Tryndamere auto hitting like a maniac. I'm not really sure why, because he's pushing up the lane really hard, but I guess he had some kind of plan. They go against a support Nunu and Tristana going as the AD. And if I'm not mistaken, we should have a little bit of action here quite soon. Here we have Gangplank flashing in. getting his parley off, chases on. Nuno gets his eyes over, and they manage to take down Tryndamere. Soraka on the other hand managed to stay away, just barely. So first blood off in about 5 minutes in the game, which is not really that good. Something we really need to work on. In my opinion, he should play a lot more defensively when we know that they have a jungler. Here we do a little bit of a try-frag gank, but we just managed to get him low, not enough. And while doing this, I heard Lurv sitting on Mumble yelling, "Why does not my fling work?" That is this is about the time that we started to realize that something was a problem here. In the meantime, they go at each other again in bot lane, doing a little bit of back and forth, but this time they are pushing up really hard. And apparently here Singed got killed, so he managed to push back. So Singed overextended a little bit, but that is stuff that happens. In the meanwhile, while they are fooling around in bot lane, pushing up quite hard, the Tristana managed to take down our Tryndamere, but Soraka managed to pick up Nuno instead. He had the tower on him a little bit too long. In the meantime, I'm going up to try to get a gank off on Annie. She flashes in and managed to take down Karthus, and she would have been taken down by the tower if I didn't manage to land my Q there. So instead of a sacrificial tower dive where no one got the kill on Annie, I managed to pick it up as in the last minute. They are going a little bit back and forth on the top now, Talon having the upper hand due to the lack of fling. Doing a little bit of pinging down bot. I think they warned about a ward there, so I would be aware of it if I tried to gank. And Talon going in, managed to get the kill yet again. So now we are down by 3 points. And yet again they managed to push up quite hard here. Tryndamere taking quite a beating, but he managed to get his ignite off, so poor Tristana goes down. 3 to 5 in kills, so we are not that far behind, but that fling in the top is really crippling us. I have been staying in the jungle for most of the time now, and the reason I do this is because I really need the gold. Lee Sin is a really good ganker, but he can't really take a beating at the start. He needs a little bit more, a few more items before he can actually do decent amount of damage and actually take some punishment as well, which you will soon find out. I'll go a little bit of back and forth here. And here I actually accidentally went out of the bush, so she saw me. So what I'm trying to do is just go behind the creep line here to get away from her and head back toward down here. And due to the wall that they have placed here, I can see what they are onto in bot lane. I can freely go up and take the blue. Here you see I start with the W to get the shield off, and then the lifesteal. Take one E and then Q. And I always wait for the proc to end, the flurry proc, to get the maximum amount of damage out. Bot lane we had Gangplank helping with his ultimate, and they do a big chase on Tryndamere, but they do not quite manage to get him down. Soraka managed to auto-hit Tristana quite a bit, so she falls down. Managed to actually hit my Sonic Wave, which I usually have very much of a problem to do. So managed to take down her, get 2 assists on it, and in the meanwhile we managed to have Talon kill our Singed yet again. We're now down by 2 points in kills, and we have no towers down on either side. I'm sneaking around a little bit in their jungle, having a look-see. See that the red is up, so I start trying to take it down. And you see here, Nunu coming up. I totally missed that on the minimap. And we have Gangplank coming on as well. Chasing me. I'm heading for the edge here, flashing, and managed to accidentally auto-hit the dragon, which is one of the stupidest things I have ever done. So, note to self, do not auto-hit dragon when you're below 100 HP. It's never a good thing. And due to me dying there, they have the advantage. So you see Nunu joining up. We have a Clairvoyance and Gangplank taking dragon together with Annie. So our first lost dragon there. And in the meantime, they are pushing quite hard on the top. As you can see, Talon is actually sacrificing himself to a couple of tower shots just to get a few cheap shots on Singed here. Not much he can do, he is feeling completely shut down, but I mean the best thing he actually can do is hug the tower and hope to survive. Try to keep his HP up. Try to grab as many minion kills as possible under the tower. Not much else you can do when you're starting to fall behind there. Me, I keep going. They clairvoyance me once again. That Nunu really keeps track of me, so kudos to him for managing to do that. Here we have Kurthus pushing up Annie quite a bit. Nothing too fancy. In the meanwhile, Talon is pushing up really hard. He's not very afraid of me ganking due to his various abilities to flee. He has his ultimate, of course, which makes him invisible. He has his, I think it's the E that makes him being able to sneak over to another guy. Here you see, completely lost, but as soon as he appears, we get the exhaust on him and then fling. Manage to take him down. Here I'm trying to tell Singe to back up so I can shield him, but a little bit too late. So a 1-for-1, but we managed to get 1 assist on our kill, which gives us the slight advantage. In the meanwhile, they keep fighting in the bot lane. Tryndamere going deep in, trying to chase down Tristana, which he should not do. Popping his ultimate to survive, but eventually the ultimate ends and he goes down. Both Tristana and Nunu is really low, so Soraka is trying to make it count, but is forced to back down. In the meanwhile, it was a little bit fight over the blue. I ran up, saw Gangplank going for it, so I started chasing him. He managed to take the Golem with his parley, and then he tries to retreat. I managed to catch him with my Sonic Wave and kill him off. Although I run into Annie and her extreme burst with "Have you seen my bear Tibbers?" So we are sharing that blue buff like some kind of sexual disease. I hope she managed to keep it afterwards, accept the benefits of infinite mana. So Karthus forced to go back. He's completely out of mana now. And myself, well, killed due to the burst. Not much you can do. So I'm starting to head down for our blue that just spawned. In the meantime, Talon managed to take down Singed, but goes down to the tower. So as you can see now, the fling, he have actually managed to work out the fling, so he doesn't have that much of a problem with it anymore. Annie coming down. Luckily Soraka warded it just recently. Doing a great push on her now, but she managed to flash over. Annie is chasing her with a flash of her own. Managed to take her down just below the tower. Me tried to get in, but forced to run out. Here we have Karthus doing a little bit of harass, but what he do not expect is this. Annie coming up. Force flashing him. Me trying to go in and help. Didn't quite work out. Now it's 3 against 1. I run towards the edge and managed to flash out myself. Unluckily we have Tryndamere instead. Forced to flee as well. Flashing, misses his flash, but managed to spin out of his way. Not quite a spin to win, but worked out fine. He's still alive. We had both Nunu and Annie hiding in our forest here, so Karthus is trying to stick towards the left side. Wise choice, Nunu is actually tanking the tower, so Annie can get away with only 1 tower hit, which doesn't cripple her that much, and after all Nunu can always just eat something and regenerate his health. They're going for a gank in top, to no avail. Singed managed to back out with almost full HP as well. Here we had Gangplank going down, so I went in for the gank, come around. What we did not expect was him to come back. Talon disappears, fight is on, and I don't know, quite managed to flee here. On the upside we managed to get a little bit of poison and managed to take Talon down. So 2 for 1, not the best thing, but at least we managed to get one of them down. In the meantime we have Nunu going to mid lane and getting his HP up with no problems whatsoever. Meantime they managed to get a gank on Annie in the bot lane and almost had Tristana as well. As you saw, we had a little bit of assistance from Karthus' ultimate there. Now they are pushing up this lane as much as possible while people are gone. Asking for a clairvoyance here to see if we have some guys hiding in the bush here, but apparently there is none. So they are pushing on the tower here. Soraka is taking a couple of tower hits, managing long enough for Tryndamere to take it down. Talon comes to try and gank, or at least keep them off the tower that we just managed to kill. As you can see, the dragon is up now, so we will probably have a little bit of competition about it soon. We managed to get a ward here, so we get at least some sight radius of it. Here we have Gangplank hiding in the bush, and I know for a fact that Nunu is somewhere around here as well. There he is. Starting to become a little bit of a chase. And here they come. I do not have that much HP yet, so I'm deciding to flee. Thanks to Karthus I can use my safeguard, get out with not taking that much damage. So we have them here going down for a gank in bot lane. Tryndamere is far pushed up and decides to try to run it out. Pops his ultimate, spins, and just barely managed to survive thanks to Soraka's ultimate. I managed to come in, get the stun, the slow off on Gangplank. I managed to take him down with my ultimate. I prefer a safe kill than no kill. Yep, keeps going, pushing onwards, having Soraka in my back so I don't have to worry that much about the damage, but they fall back enough, so we decide to clean out the minions instead. I can't really decide if I'm going to take the dragon or the blue, but I decide to take the blue first. So as you can see, I'm starting with the small minions this time, is to buy Karthus some time to actually get here. We're not expecting to react that fast though, but we managed to take down the blue for us. And in the meanwhile, we have Nunu trying to see what he can see, and ends up getting completely crushed by Lee Sin. A little bit of a chase on Tristana. Some I couldn't really choose where to go here, so we have a chase. Tryndamere and Karthus managed to take him down, Karthus using his ultimate, and while that is happening I focus on taking down the dragon. So now it's 1-1 in dragons. We have gotten 1 and they have gotten 1, at least from the ones I have seen. So we are still behind by 2 points, but we have managed to take down one of their towers, while they have not managed to take down neither of ours so far. A little bit of fighting in the top lane. We have a exhaust, slow fling, and a kill thanks to the ultimate of Singed. Now the funny thing is that Singed have died 6 times and just recently managed to pick up these 4 kills, while Talon have 7 kills and 4 deaths, so he is far behind our Singed in terms of kills. On the other hand, he managed to play out Talon anyway, and we were a little bit curious about this, but I mean, there's not much we can do. So Singed fooling around a little bit, scaring Gangplank off, while the rest of us join up here. Gangplank is not the one who wants to give up early, so he's tried to take down Singed while Singed taking down the tower. Singed turning, doing the initiate. Karthus joins in, getting a misplaced wall. I miss my Q, but managed to get my slow off when Gangplank is flashing. Talon joins in, managed to nuke me down quite a bit. I tried to kick Talon away to get rid of him. Singed tried to back us up, but then Nunu joins, taking out his ulti. Talon joins with his Q, taking all 3 of us down. Great effort from the enemy team here, bunching up on us. Not much we could do here. So Karthus immediately backs off, same as Tryndamere. It is not wise to engage while it is 2 versus 5. In the meantime, Tristana starts pushing down the tower, our bot tower. So it's now 2 towers, their top and their bottom, versus our bottom tower. Little bit of fighting going on in the middle. But nothing decisive, just a little bit of poking around. Me, I'm heading for the red again. Whenever you're in the jungle, you want to pick up the buffs as soon as they spawn. Gives you more time with them, and they will respawn a lot faster as well. If you are playing a energy character like I am, or a character that doesn't really need that much mana, feel free to give the blue away to your ability power user that is usually going in the mid lane. A little bit of poking around going on in the middle. In the meantime, I am going around through the bush, getting ready for Talon, doing the initiate. Gets the first things off. Since I have used my E, he is unable to stealth, so we get a fling and a kick. Managed to take Talon down, and now going for chase on Gangplank. Although we change our mind, he is a little bit too aggressive, and we know why, because Annie was around there as well. So we get reinforcements from Soraka, grouping up, and they were hiding in the bush trying to take us down. Managed to get Gangplank down, getting a big chase on poor Annie, little girl running away fast as she can. Toss and a silence, so she can't really fight back. Slowing her down, we really want to get her down for once. Finish getting her. Big chase on Nunu instead now. Flash and slow, but we decide to fall back. Talon joining in the fight, trying to take her down, and manages. Now it's Talon versus our Singed and Tryndamere, but they managed to take him down eventually. Now Nunu is chasing, decides it is not that a wise choice, since we have both Singed and Tryndamere there. Meanwhile, we are taking the blue for Karthus. As I mentioned earlier, if possible, always try to give the blue to your AP carry. Warding up the dragon, since it will appear in short enough time. I see that Gangplank is in bot, so that means that the jungle should be free to grab. Doing quick work of the Wraiths. Going up behind, managed to get a combo on Tristana, taking down her a little bit, but she managed to leap away. So I keep roaming. But the fighting keeps going in the middle, so I just try to get a decent going, but they initiate a lot faster than I had anticipated. Big chase on Soraka, she runs away. Meantime, I'm trying to recall, but Nunu managed to catch me. The entire enemy team is joining up to get me. I'm using my Q, trying to hit their blue, but it have been taken down earlier, so I'm trying to flee. But when having 5 people on you and the tower eventually, there is no place to go unless you're really, really tanky. So I'm going down, unfortunately. In the meanwhile, we have Soraka clearing up a little bit of the jungle. Always handy with the extra gold whenever the jungler can't take it. In the meantime, they managed to take down their second dragon. So it's 2 dragons for their team and 1 for our team. Now they managed to take down our tower as well. Annie and Talon coming up from behind. Managed to take down Soraka. Tryndamere. But we managed to, due to poison on Singed, we managed to take down Talon. But they managed to nuke down our Karthus instead, who were very low on HP. So they got 3 people from our team, while we only got 1 from theirs, and we are behind by 5 kills now. We are pretty even on the towers instead. So as you can see, the teams are actually quite even. I'm trying to clear out the mid as much as possible. Don't want the tower to take the kills and the gold if I can help it. Red is up again, so I'm heading for it. I'm getting a little bit of assistance from Soraka here, finding a ward, so they decide to take it down. If possible, try to take down their wards at all times. After all, the less they see, the less they can react on. So Singed clearing up a few minion waves here that were hitting on the tower. Meantime, we get a gank from Annie and Talon. I tried to safeguard her, but my shield was not enough to help there. I get completely stunned and wiped out. Now we are behind by 7 kills, so it do not look good at this point. Falling behind very rapidly. Isn't really much that we can do against the insane burst from Talon and Annie. And the slow and ultimate from Nuno is really tipping the scales. We managed to get a fling, so we get Annie inside tower range and managed to kill her that way. So we really need to utilize whatever options that we have here, and flinging enemies into the tower seems like a great idea. So at the moment is pretty much everyone grouped up in the middle, trying to hold off the minions and trying to get something going. We just do not know where. So we decide yet again to take the blue. As soon as it's up, try to take it. While me and Karthus is taking down the blue, we have Soraka warding. This is a really good place to ward because you can see if someone is on their way up into your jungle on both this side and this side. You see when the dragons spawn in case you don't have a timer on it, and you see if the enemy tries to go and gank through the bottom through the river to the bottom lane, or from the bottom lane to the middle. Now we know that we have Gangplank hiding here together with Tristana, so did a little bit of a warning ping so people knew about it. Trying to do a little bit of poking around with my Q, but to no avail as of yet. We have also placed a ward here, so we have a look at the dragon, so we know if they would try to take Baron. In case they would try to take it, then we can take countermeasures. Yet again, clearing out one of their wards. Lot of poking around. Here, people are really gathering up here. Gangplank, who has the most HP in their team, is taking the lead, trying to soak as much damage as possible. fling on Gangplank into the tower range, managed to get a little bit of damage going on, but they managed to nuke down our Karthus almost immediately. But they are fighting within tower range, so get Gangplank and Annie down thanks to the tower. They managed to take down our Soraka, but we keep on chasing, taking down their Talon. Really good knockback from Tristana there. Chases on a flash, but we decide to give up the chase and take down the tower instead. Meanwhile, the minions managed to take down our tower in the top, but we managed to take it in the middle. Although they are going heavy on our bottom tower, so Singe teleporting over there, putting out a little bit of smoke and poison. Try to take it down as quick as possible. In the meantime, we are taking down the dragon, me and Litax. So now we have 2 dragons each. So we have no money advantage, global money advantage on either side, from the dragons at least. We are still a little bit behind. We are 22 kills against 27. Have fallen behind on towers now, I believe. We have 1, 2, 3 towers down. They have 3 towers down as well. So guess it's equal. Yet again, Karthus keeping an eye out in middle. Something is bound to happen soon. We find Gangplank out of position, chasing after Singed, running into his poison, getting a fling off. But Karthus is a little bit too slow to react there, so not much we can do. But we are gathering up in the brush, waiting for them. Going out to do a little bit of sneaking around, sees their ward, takes it out. Here I do not notice that Nunu also has an oracle, so place my ward down and watches as it gets eaten really quick. Now 3-minute warding tossed to hell. Now, as you have probably noticed, I haven't been buying that many wards. Actually, I haven't bought a single ward, but I'm still working on the jungling, so please don't kill me for it. Big decisive fight here in the middle, close to the water. We lost 2 people, our Singed and our Karthus, but me, I keep on chasing, managed to take down Nunu, so we have an efficient 2 versus 2 here. 2 kills for 2. Got a newly warded brush here, so it's really handy to have. Yet again, thanks to Soraka, she is really good at buying those wards, so good props to her for doing that. I saw that Gangplank was here, but I saw him retreating from the race when I joined, so I'm trying to take down the red, but Annie joins up, so I start running away from there. I really want that red, so managed to get it just barely. Managed to get a kickoff on the most annoying target, which will be Gangplank, since he has his slow on hit, which I absolutely hate. Here they are taking down the blue for Karthus yet again. Managed to get out with about half HP, not too shabby. And I also got the red buff, so I don't have to worry about that. Singed doing a bit of sneaking around and takes their blue as well. If it's possible to, well, trying to take their blue. If it's possible to deny them from taking the buffs, then by all means do so, because it will really cripple them if you get the advantage. they are, as you can see, they are really going all out on our Singed here, and he manages to get away anyway, and their entire team have been reduced by a lot of health after trying to chase him. Rule number 1, people, do not chase Singed unless you can kill him and actually survive it. That poison actually stays on for quite a while, so keep an eye on your health bar and don't do reckless things when Singed is around. When you least expect it, he can turn around and fling you and slow you, so when that happens there isn't really much that you can do to try to get away. We see that they are starting to gather up a little bit around the Baron, so we are staying in the vicinity. I have no idea what Karthus is doing here, but I guess it caught the enemy's attention. And I do apologize for my pauses from time to time. It's getting rather late and I'm really tired, so I'm trying to avoid yawning you in the ear. Here we saw that they were in the jungle here, so I tried to tell our Tryndamere to not go through the jungle, so we're taking the detour. Was about to take this route, so he turns around, takes this route and trying to juke, but to no avail. So he goes down. So it is now a 3 versus 4 or 5 till Karthus managed to join us. Here he is. And with having the tower up and everyone on full health, we do have the advantage. And now for some reason their Tristana is being disconnected. We asked about it after the game and apparently they had some serious issues with the internet at Tristana, so we did not report her since they asked us not to report her. Well, everyone can have problems eventually from time to time, so if possible, do not just tell people to report, try to find out why, and do not just go reporting for no reason. If these guys were a 5-man pre-made, it would have been appreciated if they could actually keep playing with their friend to avoid that person getting banned. So always check with the teammates of the disconnected person first. It is usually quite appreciated. Here we managed to get 2 kills, 1 under the tower, and we did a chase down over here as well. But as the fighting continues, we have our Tryndamere taking care of the tower, tanking it, and here I choose to try to help, but I actually miss Singed with my W, but we managed to take down the tower nonetheless. Another tower for our advantage, and we decide to take the time while they are clearing down the minions to take down the dragon. So it's 3 dragons for us and 2 for them. Now, as you know, Tristana had a disconnect, so it is a 4 versus 5 now. So I really feel sorry for them, but sadly to say, Tristana wasn't really doing that great. I mean, she had good farm, she did, but she didn't really do that much in the team fights. She is about equivalent with our Tryndamere. Now here I'm getting caught out of position, having both Gangplank, Talon and Nunu going for me, so I tried to retreat, but I managed to catch up to us. I managed to get my kick off on Nunu to nullify his use of his ultimate. doing a little bit of chasing here and a little bit of chasing here. This is the most interesting chase in my opinion. I have both myself and Soraka trying to catch up, but with the blood boil from Nunu it's quite impossible to actually catch up until our Tryndamere takes the shortcut through the jungle and one shot, one kill. Now, since we have managed to take down both Gangplank and Nunu from their team, we decide to go for the Baron. After all, we have Wriggles, we have Smite, we have tanky people. No problems whatsoever to take him down. So what we are going to do now is that we have Tryndamere going back to buy immediately, myself trying to take the red before buying, Soraka going back to buy, and Singed, our everlasting crazy man who doesn't fear anything, keeps on farming. Or at least for a little while. Now the blue is up again. Let's see if we are going to try to do something with it, or if we are going to take the advantage that we have of Baron buff. Still waiting for people to regroup, so we decide to take down the blue Karthus once again. Now we have effectively managed to group up again. Singed in the front, taking down a few creeps. Now we are just melting through the minions. I'm doing a little bit of poking around, taking down their waves as well. It's not much money, but it is something, while the rest of the team pushes up. Waiting around a little bit outside, trying to get a little bit of poke going on while waiting for our minions to join us. As you can see, we have 2 Banshees Veil here, so it would be appreciated if we could poke them out before we manage to initiate the fight. Here we have the initiate. Karthus going down immediately, but we managed to take down Annie with a kick out from everything. Managed to take down Gangplank, giving chase to their Talon, but decides to fall back since he have the 2 towers there to guard him. Doing a bit of chasing on Nunu as well. I mean, it is Singed chasing, so he can do pretty much whatever he pleases. In the meantime, we managed to take down their turret. We stand fast, poking out another Banshee's Veil, and takes down their inhibitor. Here we decide to fall back. We have done significant damage, taking down the tower and the inhibitor here. So we run out to take down their red buff, which was already taken, and their blue buff. Here giving it to Singe is not the most optimal way to hand out the blue, but it's better than the enemy team getting it. Here trying to clear out a couple of creeps before they take down our tower, but we are just a little bit too late. Same going on in the top. So we have Karthus going about his round a little bit. He should actually use his aura a lot earlier to take down the creeps as fast as possible to lessen the damage on the tower. Even if they are 4 versus 5, we are still 2 kills behind, and I have actually no idea what would happen if Tristana managed to come back. But we do have the upper hand. The biggest problem that we have is our Karthus being focused and nuked down immediately before we manage to get something going. Now we have four people guarding the upper tower, which they have been towards, while our Tryndamere goes down and takes down the dragon. Here we are starting to move forward, checking the bushes for wards. Found one here, and here we actually find them. I miss with my Q, so I'm unable to initiate. We see Annie out of position, managed to get a perfect silence of her, so she is unable to get her nuke off. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit too slow on my kick, so I can't really do anything about Nunu. But we go through them like a knife through hot butter. And with that, they decide to surrender. Sadly, it was a 4 versus 5 towards the mid game and the end game, but we did manage to win, and like to give props to the enemy team for actually sticking around, giving up a really good fight. So thank you all for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to thumb up and like this video, and if you don't, feel free to give a comment as to why you did not. Now, thanks for me, and I hope you enjoy your evening.